Bailey, Pretoria.
Many local businesses have ambitions to expand into international markets, but decision makers often make errors when trying to do this. Corrine van der Merwe, CEO of Sovereign Trust, joins us now from our studios in Cape Town to discuss that in some detail. Corrine, thanks so much for your time today. We know offshore expansion is most businesses' dreams. They want to increase their markets and ensure that they get new customers. But of course, there are pitfalls. And before we talk about those pitfalls, under what circumstances, always when one is considering, for example, expanding, what are the things they need to think about first before they start?
Good evening, Siki. Good evening, viewers. I mean, there are so many businesses at the moment who are expanding, and often the reasons relate to hedging against the rand. They want to access a bigger market share. But guys, when they expand overseas, they have to make sure that they actually take their time, they don't rush into it, and they do proper market research before they enter any international markets.
And actually talking about that market research, that goes into mistake number one, and a part of that is expecting that foreign market to be the same as the domestic market. Why is this a mistake that people make?
I mean, you see overseas that often quality controls are different compared to South Africa, and people's attitudes towards jobs are different, labor laws are different, in a lot of countries language barriers might become an issue, and if you are not prepared for these things, you could really struggle to make a success of your business when you expand.
And talking about labor laws, for example, the regulatory environment as a whole, I suppose, would potentially be different as well. What advice would you give businesses about getting themselves up to speed with that?
Yeah, I think if you just consider the legal environment which you are entering, you have to make sure that you partner with reputable service providers with experience who can help you understand the legal rules and requirements when you set up a company in another jurisdiction. And not just that, I think more importantly, you need to make sure that you understand the tax obligations, because if you get that wrong, you could be faced with criminal liability. But my most important advice would be make sure that you do partner with people on the ground who can take your hand throughout the process.
And talking about getting tax advice, I mean, there's a big focus at the moment on profit shifting, on base erosion. We're seeing it as a massive global conversation. So you're saying businesses must keep up to date with the changes that come with that?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it is a constant changing environment, Siki. And if you, as a company and as a company director, are not up to speed as to with regards to what your reporting and tax obligations are, you can run into serious trouble.
One of the things you raise is around joint ventures, and you say beware of joint ventures. Now, I would have thought that would have been the easiest way to do it when you are expanding. Why should they be wary of joint ventures?
The first thing that comes to mind is, for example, when clients enter into the UAE. At Sovereign Trust, we see a lot of our clients who actually want to expand, setting up offices in Dubai, for example. And if you want to do business on the ground there, you require a local partner who's going to end up owning 51% of your company. So if you don't do proper due diligence on that person and you don't really know who you are partnering, you could actually end up losing quite a big profit share of your company to that local partner.
But you also say that, you know, don't try and do it all yourself. So I suppose there's a balancing act there, right?
Yes, definitely. What I mean by saying that is partner with corporate service providers in the industry on the ground that's got a reputation, who really understand the local requirements, a company that's got a footprint not maybe just in South Africa but all around the world.
So do your homework way before you set foot outside. Thanks so much for your time today, Corrine van der Merwe,
exactly.
CEO of Sovereign.